Windhorst confirms Golden State might be about to snatch the Bucks' biggest prize. With whispers that Kai Sotto is on the way, the Warriors could be executing a jaw-dropping steal from Milwaukee's championship plans. That frontcourt boost combining Sotto's international potential and the Dubs' signature system would tip the scales in the West. Can Golden State outmaneuver the Bucks, land the prize piece, and swing the balance of power? Warriors fans are electrified, rival franchises are scrambling, and the NBA power map is shifting before our eyes. Is this one of the smartest moves of the offseason or a high-stakes gamble? Stay tuned, this rumored coup could rewrite the playoffs before the season even starts. The Golden State Warriors may be inching toward one of the most shocking power moves in NBA history. ESPN's Brian Windhorst has just dropped a bombshell on the basketball world. There is a real path, albeit a very narrow one, for the Warriors to land Giannis Antetokounmpo. But let's not get carried away just yet. This possibility hinges on two massive, non-negotiable conditions. First, Giannis himself must go public and specifically request a trade to Golden State. Second, the Milwaukee Bucks must be willing to play ball even knowing that other franchises like Houston or San Antonio could blow Golden State out of the water with better offers. On the surface, this might sound like pure fantasy. But when Brian Windhorst talks, the league listens. He's not the type to throw around wild speculation without reason. So, let's break this down and really understand what's at stake here. Let's start with Giannis. We're talking about a two-time MVP, a Defensive Player of the Year, an NBA champion, and a guy who has single-handedly redefined what a dominant power forward can be in the modern era. His loyalty to Milwaukee has been one of his defining traits until now. With the Bucks aging rapidly, facing contract dilemmas, and coming off a season that ended in chaos and coaching turnover, there's growing concern inside the NBA that Giannis might soon start thinking about legacy over loyalty. But here's the twist: Windhorst emphasized that without a direct, public trade request from Giannis, the Warriors are essentially out of the picture. Why? Because Golden State, despite their winning pedigree, can't outbid other franchises in a traditional trade war. They don't have the draft capital that a team like the Houston Rockets or the San Antonio Spurs can put on the table. Those teams are loaded with picks and young talent, which makes them extremely dangerous in any high-stakes trade negotiation. So why even bring up Golden State as a realistic destination? That's the fascinating part. It all comes down to preference. If Giannis, who has long admired the Warriors' culture, the way they play, and of course, Stephen Curry were to say, "I want to go to Golden State," it changes everything. Not just for the Warriors, but for the entire NBA. In today's player empowerment era, a superstar's preference carries enormous weight. We've seen it with Anthony Davis forcing his way to the Lakers. We saw it with Damian Lillard attempting to control his landing spot. And most recently, Kevin Durant's trade saga reminded everyone that when a star speaks, the front office listens even if it's inconvenient. But don't forget, Milwaukee still has the final say. If the Bucks decide they want to get the best possible return and maximize their future, they could easily ignore Giannis's preferences and take the highest bidder. And that's where Golden State hits a wall. Because while the Warriors have some interesting trade chips, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, perhaps even Andrew Wiggins or future pick swaps, they simply don't have the kind of draft treasure chest that the Rockets or Spurs possess. Let's pivot for a moment to talk about those two franchises. Why are Houston and San Antonio such strong threats in a Giannis sweepstakes? Houston owns a war chest of future first-round picks, including assets from the Brooklyn Nets and others. They're a team on the rise with a talented young core: Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, and Jabari Smith Jr., and they could theoretically put together an offer that would turn Milwaukee's head instantly. San Antonio? Well, they have Victor Wembanyama. Enough said. A pairing of Giannis and Wemby would be an absolute nightmare for the rest of the league, and the Spurs have the flexibility, cap space, and coaching infrastructure under Greg Popovich to make that dream a reality. Plus, they also hold multiple future firsts and can sweeten the deal however they like. So, if you're the Warriors, you're basically stuck in a narrow lane. You're not winning a trade auction. You're not blowing teams away with picks. Your only shot is if Giannis says, I want to play with Steph. I want to play with Draymond. I want that Warriors DNA. Get me to San Francisco. And it's not impossible. The mutual admiration between Giannis and Curry is well documented. There's real respect there. Giannis has praised Curry's leadership, humility, and work ethic on multiple occasions. Steph, in turn, has always been glowing in his praise of Giannis. Add to that the Warriors' emphasis on culture, family, and loyalty, and you can see how the idea could be tempting for a guy like Giannis, who wants to compete for titles while playing for an organization that takes care of its stars. But we can't ignore reality. This is a long shot. A very long shot. And Windhorst knows it. That's why he laid it out so clearly. This isn't about Golden State dreaming up another super team. It's about whether Giannis makes a move that could shift the NBA's power balance yet again. And if he doesn't, well, then the Warriors can't do much but watch from the sidelines as other teams swoop in. Now, while all this speculation around Giannis is heating up, the Warriors have made one official move and it's already making history. Kai Sotto, the 7'3" Filipino center, has officially signed with the Golden State Warriors. This is not just a basketball transaction. It's a monumental moment for the Philippines, for Asian basketball, and for the NBA as a whole. Kai Sotto becomes the first full-blooded Filipino to sign with the Golden State Warriors, and one of the tallest international prospects ever to join the franchise. He's expected to start his journey with the G League affiliate, but don't underestimate the potential impact of this move. For years, Filipino fans have dreamed of seeing one of their own in a real NBA uniform. And now it's finally happening. Social media exploded when the news broke. Fans across the Philippines were celebrating like it was a national holiday. Kai Sotto has been a national hero since his teenage years, dominating youth leagues and international competitions. His size, footwork, and basketball IQ have been closely watched by scouts for years. Now, after stints in the NBL and Summer League appearances, he's finally found a home in Golden State. It's a smart move by the Warriors. Not just from a basketball standpoint, but from a global branding perspective. The NBA has been trying to deepen its presence in Southeast Asia, and there's no bigger entry point than the Philippines, where basketball is practically a religion. But don't assume this is just a PR stunt. Sotto has real game. He's still raw, yes, but at 7'3", with good touch around the rim, improving range, and solid passing instincts, there's something there. He'll need to bulk up, improve his lateral quickness, and adjust to the speed of the NBA game. But as a developmental prospect, there's a lot to like.